We've had ongoing construction over the summer months. Sometimes they've been outside the window, which is distracting because we're on the 5th floor. So, you know, when they're hanging outside the window, you're always a little concerned. So,
I sent it again, Priscilla. Thank you.
okay. Good. All right. We are live stream. Welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals for this Monday, October 28th. I just want to take, before we actually get started, just want to take a moment to remember Jim Donovan, the iconic voice of the Cleveland Browns, who passed away over the weekend. And sad news for the city, I think, sort of a legend for us. And at the age of 68, after a long battle with leukemia. So just want to pay our respects to him and the family, since he was such a big integral part of Cleveland. So with that, we will call to order. And we are hybrid today, which means we are both online and in person. And so with that, we'll begin with the reading of our preamble by our secretary, Ms. Kukla.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this Monday, October 28th, 2024.
There's a bit of a delay. It's coming on.
Thank you. I got it. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976. Notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comments on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Great. Would you like to call the roll, please?
Sure. Ms. Roca? Here. Ms. Wilson? Present. Ms. Holzer will be absent today.
Right.
Mr. Madison did email us and said that he is running behind.
Okay. He'll join us when he gets here.
And Ms. Biddy.
I am here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum with 3 members.
Okay, super.
So we should announce to the appellants that with 3 members, any motion that is made must be passed by unanimous vote. If it is not passed by unanimous vote, then the variance is denied and the decision of Building and Housing remains unchanged. So if the appellants would like to request a postponement at this time, we would entertain that and consider a new date.
We are expecting Mr. Madison shortly, so we might as well give them the disclaimer for 4 members.
Sure. With 4 members, it is similar in that in order for a motion to pass, there must be 3 members voting. You do risk a tie vote in this case. And again, the applicants, the variance will be denied in that case as well if you do not choose 3 members. And at this time, the appellants may request a postponement to another date when we would likely have 5 people if they don't want to take that risk.
Super. Okay. We are currently at a full member board. We just have 1 absence today, and Mr. Madison is running a little behind. Do we have any appellants online that would like to exercise their option to postpone at this time? Okay, hearing none. Do we have anyone in the room? Hearing none, we'll proceed. Okay.
Okay.
Any withdrawals or other postponements?
We have one postponement that is on the screen for calendar number 24-170 regarding 2075 Murray Hill Road. Landmarks Commission is requesting a postponement in this case as it is in a landmarks district. I believe that the appellant has not met with them and gone through the design review process.
Okay,
They've had trouble getting in contact with the applicant.
all right.
We might want to ask, see if he's online, if he's here today.
Okay, do we have an applicant present for calendar number 24-170? This is at 2075 Murray Hill Road. You seeing anyone, Mr. Bay?
I did not see any activity in the participants.
Okay, all right, it appears we don't have anyone.
Okay. So 30 days would be approximately November 25th.
I feel like we need to give them longer since they haven't been in contact with Landmarks.
So the first week in December is the second week is December 9th.
Let's go to December 9th.
So calendar number 24-170 regarding 2075 Murray Hill Road has been postponed to December 9th. If you received a letter in the mail regarding this case, you will receive a letter in the mail again 10 days before the hearing.
Okay, super. Anything else?
You do have one withdrawal. And that's calendar number 24173 at 12200 Fair Hill Avenue.
Okay,
Steps to Wellness, Inc. proposed to establish use as a mental health center for opioid treatment and peer support in a multifamily residential district. We received written notification that they are withdrawing.
okay, all right. So calendar number 24-173 has been withdrawn.
Point of order on that one. Is that withdrawal of prejudice? Because we're here to object to we were not put on notice
Okay,
of the withdrawal.
do we have any further information on that? Was it withdrawn at the request of the applicant?
Yes, it was withdrawn at the request of the applicant.
Okay,
No, there's no prejudice. They can apply again in the future.
okay,
Okay. It's just that they didn't provide neighboring folks other than a handful of days notice of this hearing and no placards, the required placards and why we're not on the property.
Mr. Bay, can you respond to that?
Yes, there was a response that the applicant had withdrawn by letter to secretary. And then, so basically, from my understanding, the case was withdrawn. And then at a later date, they had sent another email to try to get back on the agenda and then to withdraw again.
All right,
So due to the, miscommunication from the applicant, from my understanding, they were withdrawn.
okay.
So I didn't put out, like,
All right, so to your question, sir, Mr. Bay is our city planner who goes out on site and would place the
Well,
placard and all of that.
Given the confusion, I understand.
Yes, right. So,
Being critical, Mr. May.
right, so Ms. Kukla, our secretary, when, should they choose to come back before the board, letters will be sent out.
Okay, would they, if they reinstate the application, would it be under the same number?
It would be under the same building and housing B number, but not calendar number.
Okay,
And the reason I ask is that you have formal written objections I'd like to put into the record.
okay. Do you want to take those submissions at this point?
I would ask the law department, would it be all right for us to take the response or the
Since the case has been
letters,
withdrawn?
put it into the file? The applicant's not here to speak.
Sure, I don't know, if they try to reapply later, would you see them?
We would see them, yeah, that they would be in the file.
How many copies do you need?
We would just need one.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
That takes care of your business then?
It does.
All right, super.
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair, I need his name.
Sir, our court reporter needs your name.
Oh, Richard Knopf, Anoth, Baker Hostetler. Thanks.
Super. Thank you. All right, anything else?
Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, in regards to the same property or application, curious if you got emails objecting to that as well that you could put on record?
Are you, for this case as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're for this case as well. So we have letters, emails of objection.
Yes, anything that was submitted to us has been printed out and put into the record. Anything that was emailed to us has been
Okay.
printed out.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Kelly Evans. Also, what did I want to say? I saw that they have an online presence advertising that they are already in that property. Does that have anything to do?
would, that, they've withdrawn from us, so
So it
that's
doesn't
where
mean
we're at.
anything.
So what I'll have you do is just, because you're free to leave. Obviously, you don't want to spend the morning with us.
Right, right.
So if you just want to make sure that Ms. Kukla has your names, so that we can double check that your emails are in the file.
Good.
And, are you both,
Yes, but I live about a block away and we never received a letter. I just found out it through
okay,
her.
just leave Ms. Kukla your name,
Okay.
and we'll make sure that the court reporter has it as well. Okay? And then you folks are free
Say
to
your
leave.
name right now.
Yeah, state your name right now, ma'am.
It's Rachel Lanfit. It's Rachael. And the last name is LA, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, V as in Victor, IT.
Madam Chair, I would just state to the neighbors that if they see some illegal activity, that they can report it to 311. Just call 311. You can also make a complaint to Building and Housing. This case would have given them their certificate or one step toward their certificate of occupancy to operate in this way. So their withdrawal ends that request, and they are not allowed to operate there at this time.
Thank
So
you.
that clear? So they would have had to receive an affirmation of their variance. We would have had to vote in favor of their variance for them in order to be able to get their certificate of occupancy, which they would need in order to operate legally. So they're not before us, they haven't been approved, they can't get their certificate of occupancy. So whatever, if you observe any operations, we would encourage you to report that.
Okay.
As Ms. Kukla suggested.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you very much for your
Thank you,
time.
folks. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it. All right, does that conclude withdrawals and,
Yes.
all right.
Do we give emails at this time?
Yeah, just go ahead and make sure Ms. Kukla has your emails so we can make sure we have it. Okay. Thanks. Glad you brought the kids.
Right.
We always like for the children to see the operations of City Hall, so that's great. Okay, we ready to move on then?
Lisa.
Okay, all right. We're gonna go to introductions. We'll start with legal, please.
Mary Cornway, Law Department.
Okay, Ms. Kukla.
Ms. Kukla, Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, court reporter will just raise her hand. So everyone knows that she's there. You need to speak for her. Mr. Bay,
Yep. Hello, my name is Xavier Bay. I'm representing city planning.
and do we have Ms. Leonard online?
We do.
All right, Ms. Leonard, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning. I'm the Chief Zoning Administrator and Zoning Manager for the City of Cleveland.
Okay, and that would be Shannon Leonard. Okay, Mr. Madison is not here, so I'm gonna read his role today. This is the order of the hearings. This is sort of like when you're flying and they do the in-flight, security announcement. Only here, it's very important that you, pay attention, please. We've had in previous couple of weeks, we've had some people that haven't heeded these situations. And so it gets a little unruly. So here's the order of the hearing. The description of the case will be read in Ms. Holster's absence. Ms. Roca, will you be willing to do that?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Roca will be reading the case into the record. Any person wishing to speak will be sworn in. Ms. Wilson is in charge of that. The history of the property will be read. The legal standard will be read. The project team will make their proposal. The board members will have an opportunity to ask questions. Those in favor of the project will have an opportunity to speak. Those in opposition to the project will have an opportunity to speak. The secretary will read any written correspondence. The city planning commission will give their recommendation. Council members, if present, will make comment. The project's team may respond to any comments made by other parties. Board members may ask additional questions. A motion will be made and seconded, and the secretary will call the roll for the vote. The rules of the hearing are as follows. Speak clearly for the record so our court reporter can record one voice at a time. So no over talking. Do not speak unless recognized by the chair. Please raise your hand to be recognized. All conversation must go through the chair. This is not an open forum. You don't get to have back and forth discussion. Hold your comments until the speaker is done speaking, and at the request of the chair, comments may be limited to 2 minutes. Okay? All right. Mr. Bay, any council people?
Madam Chair, I do not see any council people present.
Okay, with that in mind, we'll proceed with the top of our agenda. So we'll start with calendar number 24-164. All those present in person for this case can move to the front of the table. You may have to pull up a chair. Oh, hello. Yeah, just come sit right at the table. Super. All right.
Oh, yes, this is my.
Ms. Roca doesn't usually play this role, so.
I'm reading in calendar number 24-164 at 2065 West 47th Street. House of Champions owner proposes to erect a 2,903 square foot building to be used as a single family house and meeting, education, and skill center for up to 24 children. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland codified ordinances as stated in the agenda. Back to you, Ms. Wilson.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Roca.
So I will go ahead and swear in all who are present for this matter. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? You raise your right hand, reply with I do, state your name, spell your name, and give your address. I'll start with you.
I do. Gillian Hall, 7555 Friedel Drive, Suite 210, Concord, Ohio, 44077.
Okay, and now let me spell your name, please.
Gillian. My last name's Hall, Hall.
Perfect, thank you.
I do. Sister Mary Kay Conkey, Conkey, 2059 West 47th Street.
And did you say I do?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Okay.
And you-
Yes, good morning. John Waldeck. I'm an attorney at Walter Haverfield, 1500 West Third Street, Suite 300, Cleveland 44113. And also a board member and secretary of the House of Champions Corporation.
Okay, and did I hear you say I do?
Attorneys don't have to do that.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't?
No, they don't.
Yeah, but I do.
Thank you. Makes it easier for us, thank you.
Technically, it's by their choice. Usually they do, sometimes you'll get one every once in a while, but yeah.
Yeah, since I'm an officer, I thought I should.
Yeah, I figured because you're not here.
Yeah, and you're wearing a couple different hats today, right? Exactly.
Okay. very good.
Do you want to tell us, who you're representing to?
Yes, I am representing Canez Homes. We are going to be the builder of the project. And Sister Mary Kay is the director of the House of Champions.
Super, thank you. I was, because we haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah,
You
I know.
were here one time and,
Yes,
you know,
I'm back.
and you're back. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Love the pants, by the way.
Thank you.
Alright, is
And
there-
I was in retailing in a previous life, so I used to produce fashion shows, so,
Nice.
so it percolates to the surface. Okay.
Is there anyone online wishing to speak in this matter? All right, just wanted to make sure. Hearing none, I'll give it back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, great. All right, to you, ma'am.
Thank
Oh,
you.
excuse me, for the record, I think we should acknowledge that Mr. Madison has arrived. So we are at four board members now, so, all right, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1966, the permit was issued to erect a one-story frame garage. There are no variances on file. And then in the more recent history, we just found that in 2005, there was a violation notice issued to the property regarding exterior maintenance. And then in 2018, there was a certificate of disclosure stating that the authorized use is as two-family. Here, in 2023, there was a lead safe certificate that was applied for, but the status says pending. And that's all that I have. That's relevant. Thank you.
Okay. Super. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance and area variances from the minimum distance and fencing requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Super. Thank you very much. All right. You're going to be the spokesperson?
I am,
right.
Gillian Hall, but I'm gonna have Sister Mary Kay just briefly explain to you first what the House of Champions is.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Super.
It's an after-school program, from second grade to fourth grade, and what we try to do is teach kids life skills, social skills, how to set a table, how to eat at a table, skills that they don't learn in their classrooms. The students are selected from Urban Community School on 4850 and Metro Catholic over on West 50th Street. It's 8 children in each house, so this is a split level, so it's 8 on one side, 8 on the other side, and we share the kitchen in the back with both of the houses. So this house that will be built is going to be next to the other one that was built in 2019, exactly the same way. No, that's it.
We might want to know about the gender of the kids and how you're gonna, are they there 24/7 or?
You know, they come after school at 3:00 and they are open until 8 with the understanding parents pick up the child anytime after 7:15 to allow for the, the conversation and teaching conversations.
Okay, so your hours, what time do they arrive then?
3:00 after their school.
3:00 and then to 8
8:00.
PM.
That's right.
Okay, great. Talk to us a little bit about staffing.
We have, one staff person per house,
Okay,
so they're in charge of the 8 children. I'm the director. We have Sister Karen, the program director. This came out of the religious congregations on the Lower West Side of Cleveland. Or independent of anything. We wanted to do something different, so the Ursuline Sisters, Notre Dame Sisters, and the St. Rocco Sisters, the Most Holy Trinity, got together back in 2012, came up with this idea. We're using one house across the street, which belongs to Urban Community School, which Bill wants back, and that's why we're using the property next to us instead of a play area. We are using the built with the play area in between the two houses.
okay. So just give us a rundown. They arrive after school and then,
Oh,
Yeah.
like the program?
Yeah.
Okay, of course, we have to have a little healthy snack. And then they go outside and they play. And then we have, to increase their academics, we have the homework helpers. We have volunteers. The house would not be up and running without a volunteer program. I have a lot of volunteers. All meals are brought in Monday through Friday. The volunteers already cook for our children. Homework helpers, we eat dinner around 5:30, 6, and then, teach them how to clean up, do dishes, and then they go home anytime after 7:13.
the parents come pick them up.
The parents come and pick them up.
Super, super, great. I think that gives us a better picture of how things operate. That's great. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. So
And Dylan, maybe I could just add one thing that Mary Kay mentioned earlier, which is, right, we started with just this one house that was on the west side of West 47th Street. And then the program was successful. We didn't know whether it would be or not, and of course, Sister Mary Kay made sure it was successful. And the kids were really wonderful. So we built another house then across the street on the east side of West 47th, which we obtained a variance for a few years ago. And that's been very successful. Well, now, because the urban community owns the original house that we started in, they always told us at some point they might want it back.
Okay.
And that's the position we're in right now. There's 8 children in that house. And if we don't replace that house, we'll lose the ability to serve those 8 children. So in fact, we're increasing the size because we'll have what amounts to a double house that we're going to build, just like the first one we built, and we'll be able to have 32 children now instead of 24.
Okay,
But we're under the gun, if you will,
okay,
to
right.
replace that original home, which is sad for us, but we keep moving on.
Right.
And because it's just been such a great and successful program, and some great graduates from the program who come back and speak with us.
Oh, that's excellent. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
So we just had a fundraiser a couple weeks ago, and 2 of the graduates came back and spoke to us, so.
Excellent.
And
Good
one-
testimonials.
Yeah, in college and in high school.
I'm just curious, what did they share with you when they came back to speak?
Mary Kay can talk about it too. So, right, especially the one young woman who was speaking, and she was in college. She said she would probably not be where she is right now in college, but for having had the time that she spent at the House of Champions.
And there's a whole selection process. I mean, it's not just for anyone. We have to make sure the criteria is if they go home to an empty house with no one watching them, 2nd to 4th grade. We take them in, because the classroom teachers and principals know their home life. So they know who's going home. The other one is if they go to the daycare in the neighborhood at about 8 o'clock at night. One little girl's mom went back to college, and the college courses weren't getting out till 9, so we had to drive her over to the daycare because they're open till 11. So it's a special handpicked, want to say,
Right.
Selection process
Based on,
their needs at home after school.
right. Good question.
Yeah,
It's add some insight to it. Right, good. Okay, we'll go back to you and tell us what's.
Yeah, so we have 2 variances that we're requesting. The first one is that this use, as a daycare use, is allowable as long as it's within 20 feet of an adjoining property. And we have, it's marked on here, it's about 35 feet. It's got 34.9 or something, so we are well beyond the limit that's required by the zoning code in this instance. And then the second one is for a fence in the front yard. Just as Mary Kay said, the children go outside and play, so it's a safety issue. So we'd like to include a fence in it. There is an exhibit where it's highlighted, but it is 4 feet off the front property line, and it lines up with the front porch of the existing House of Champions building and this building.
Okay.
So I highlighted it.
Did you submit a cut sheet of the fence that you're
It
expecting?
was on the plans.
It was on the plans, okay.
Is it already there?
Well, there is one already, yes, there is already a fence there. I have pictures of that too, because you can see the fence, it's obviously a vacant lot. And there is already an existing fence from the current House of Champions enclosing this space.
So, Madam Chair,
Yes,
may I ask a question? So you're replacing this fence or this is the fence you need a variance for?
Well, I mean, we'll be replacing it after construction, because obviously we have to tear it down
right,
during
okay.
construction, and then we'll be replacing it. So
Okay, so
because
it's gonna be the same fence essentially, height wise and.
yes, exactly, exactly.
Well, not quite, I'm sorry, right, because in front of the house itself, we want a fence.
Right, but it's on the side yard.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
considered front.
Yeah,
You're
right.
gonna be like right here, Jack.
Yeah, but right now the fence runs all the way down the street.
It does.
And that's getting taken down, to the extent it's gonna be in front of the Brandon house, it'll be gone. So there won't be a fence right in
Okay.
front of the house itself.
I think that's an improvement.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be,
yeah, it's not the whole length of the
right,
lot. It's-
yeah, it'll just be
Right,
fenced in the side yard.
Correct.
Yeah.
and a brand new one.
Yeah.
Much
Great.
better.
Good with that?
I am.
All right, cool. Do you have anything, Mr. Benson? Okay, all right. I think,
Madam Chair,
yes,
I don't see a drawing of what the fence will look like. I don't know if I don't think we have one in the
It's-
file,
It's in the architectural plans, it's in a note.
but not a photo. Or no?
I don't think it's a photo because I think it's a chain link fence, but there's a notation in there.
Okay.
it's 4-foot chain link. Is it coated or is it just silver?
I believe it's silver.
Okay. That's good. You good with that, Ms. Kukla?
There is a photo of the existing
There's-
house and fence.
There is a photo of
And
the
it'll
existing
look,
house.
it'll look
Okay.
like that fence.
So, Madam
Do you wanna
Chair,
clip
there's
art?
a bit of a problem because this was an addition after the application was made. I guess it's possible that we could just state that it's part of a condition that you want to place on the.
Yeah, I think we'll do it that way, because if it's in the construction drawings, if it's as a note in the construction drawings, then technically it's in what they submitted. So I think we'll just make it as a condition, right? It's in.
Yeah, yes.
Do you remember what
This was
page
not-
number on the drawing it is
don't.
by chance?
I don't, but I remember we went over this with Dudley
Okay,
when he was reviewing the application.
okay, all right. So if it's a note in the construction drawings, then that's part of a legal document, the construction drawings are. So we'll just make it as a condition, and they're gonna have to demo the existing fence that, has already,
It's also on the site plan too.
okay, so it's also on the site plan.
Yeah, it's
Which
a
is also
fence.
part of your construction.
Correct.
So they're gonna have to demo the existing fence to do the construction. So it essentially this is really kind of just replacing. Though it's not gonna be in the same exact spot. So we'll just make it a condition.
Madam Chair, make what a condition? I don't think I missed.
So let's, you wanna clarify from Ms. Roca, because she's probably gonna craft the motion.
So my concern is that chain link fences are not permitted in the side yard by right. They were not written up for a chain link fence violation. So it leads me to believe that
It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
oh, thank you. Sorry, I misunderstood. I actually
Okay.
thought she was adding something to the.
Okay, all right, so we're good, right?
Janet had her.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a little
All right.
under the weather.
That's,
My
yeah,
brain is-
yeah,
Perfect.
you're getting increasingly congested.
Yeah.
So we feel your pain. huh?
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right.
Madam Chair, I think Ms. Leonard.
Ms. Leonard, do you want to chime in on this? We think, Ms. Kukla has it clarified for herself, so I think we're good.
Yep.
Thank you. Super. Mr. Bay, you want to give us your perspective, please, for city planning?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is Xavier Bay representing city planning. The House of Champions programming is very contextual on this street. It's directly adjacent to Urban Community School, which is just a I guess, across the street to the bottom here, this photo on the screen. And so the Urban is actually also developing a rec center just north of the project area. And so the operations are very contextual to the street. So we recommend approval.
It appears like you're building a little community there, right? So, essentially an asset to the community, really. Okay, super. Any other questions or comments, board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve calendar number 24-164 based on the testimony that we've heard today.
I'm sure I will second the motion.
All right, Ms. Wilson for the second. We'll call the vote, please.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Roca,
Yes.
Ms. Bates.
Yes.
Calendar number 24-164 is granted to be ratified next Monday. We will send you a letter, but you can contact us next Wednesday for further instruction.
Super. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Are you sticking around?
This is mine too.
How long?
I know, I go from not seeing you.
I know, to like spending the morning,
Right.
So, there you go. All right. All right, we're moving on to calendar number 24-165.
Thank you. Reading in calendar number 24-165 at 3571 East 71st Street. FBE Inc. Owners propose to erect a 16,700 and something square foot, two-story frame, single-family residence with attached garage. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda. I think there might be a number missing in the agenda. Or a misplaced comma, maybe. It's either 1,672 square feet or 16,000.
That's what,
Definitely not 15.
that's 1,000.
Okay, so
Sorry, 7.
correction to the reading in of the case, the square footage is 1,672 square feet. Two-story, single family, two-story frame, single family residence. Thank you. Back to you, Ms. Wilson.
All right, I will swear in all who are present. I can see that we do have one in the room. Are you here for this matter?
Not this.
All right.
Okay.
So I will swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your right hand. Reply with I do. State your name, spell your name, and give your address.
I do, Gillian Hall, with Connects Homes, 7555 Friedel Drive, 3210 Concord, Ohio, 44077.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone online wishing to speak in this matter? All right, do you remember that? Chair?
Okay, do we not have, we don't have an appellant present?
No, I'm
Okay.
just me.
All right, did they submit,
They,
We
I
got
did,
it?
but I brought it just in case.
okay, we have the letter on file?
Yes, we do.
Super, okay. All right, we'll take history of the property then.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our records administration, we found that in 1893, a permit was issued to erect a dwelling. 1899, a permit was issued to erect a dwelling. And in 1926, a permit was issued to erect a garage. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the required interior side yard requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, the appellant must prove that denying the request will create practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Great, thank you. All right.
I have a few, I just brought a couple things that I thought might be helpful for the case. This is a project that we've been working on with Third Federal. It's called Trailside. We are currently, this will be our 8th phase of the development. This development was a collaboration with the city of Cleveland and Third Federal and the original developer was the Zarembas. When they started this development, they did a PUD. And for whatever reason, it didn't extend across the whole property, as you can see in the one printout. So we are asking to basically do the same thing that we've been doing in the rest of the phases, but for whatever reason, when they did the PUD years and years ago, they didn't do the full development. So it sounds like from now on, we're gonna have to come in for future phases to request variance.
Okay.
So phase 8 is going to be along Echo, and then we will continue down 71st Street. And hopefully build out the development in the next couple of years. So this has to do with the interior side yard requirement. Is 10 and we're proposing 6.23, but as you can see, I mean, we're following the course of the rest of the development.
Okay. All right, for the benefit of those who don't know what a PUD is, not everyone is in real estate, so
Sure.
let's just explain that. So I get
Yes.
that.
When this development was initially planned out, it was a planned urban development. I don't think anyone that was with the city is currently still, back then when this was going on, I don't think anyone's still here. And it's been difficult to piece together all of the information of when this was originally done. And we have made some modifications to the design of the homes from when it was originally planned. But this has been going on for years and years and years.
Right.
And so when they originally did it, like I said, they just did a PUD over there to make sure that they could continue on with all the phases and keep building moving forward. And maybe I don't know if they had never intended to go all the way down 71st or what, but
Yeah, it may have just been proof of concept at that point.
it could have been because
Yeah.
the road isn't installed all the way down, like we'll have to
Yeah.
finish off the roadway for it.
Okay,
But it's been a very successful project. Like I said, we're in phase 8. We're working on phase 9 so that we can keep it moving. We always have a VIP list for this development, because this third federal and either the city or county gives quite a bit of subsidy for these homes. So our selling price is at $209 right now.
excellent, good. Good, very marketable then.
Yes, it
Great.
is.
Super. All right, any questions, board?
Madam Chair, just a question, how many phases are in the overall project?
I feel like we will probably, down 71st, we will probably be able to do at least 10 more lots. And then there is property, the city owns all of the vacant property on the other side as well. So
This stretch here, is city owned,
yes, the city owns
This-
that.
this area?
Yeah, and then there's also,
And what about over here?
Yeah, the city owns like this corner right here as
Okay.
well. And I think this portion as well. So our plan is to take the road down and fill out both
Yeah.
sides. Like I said, we're building right here now.
Right,
We've filled all this in. This is gonna stay kind of a park.
good, need some green space.
Yeah.
I'd love to see I'd love to see some more planting, some more trees in there,
Okay,
if you can make that happen.
okay. Yeah, we can talk to Third Federal about that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like it's dense, so let's get some more green in there, particularly with some forestry. But yeah, looks good. I was just over in that area on Saturday, actually, so. All right, anything else, board?
like, you can't see, but we filled out that corner. So it's right now, it will be right next to a house that are already there.
Yeah, perfect. Mr. Bay, you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, the neighborhood planner, Kenya Gray, is very supportive of this. The applicants have been in communication with us throughout these developments. And Recommend approval.
Super, all right. Who would like to take the motion on this?
Madam Chair,
As I look to Mr. Madison.
Madam Chair, I move to approve calendar number 24-165.
Okay, could I have a second, please?
I'll second the motion.
All right, we'll call the vote, please.
Madam Chair, before we do, can I get the name of the PUD again, just for the record? Was that Trailside?
I think it was called Morgana Trail back then. I can send you what we do have,
Okay,
Okay. thank
but we
you.
don't have a lot of information.
Right.
yeah, because this goes back, what, 20 years?
I mean, I think.
We
or
think, we
yeah,
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so whatever historical data that might be beneficial for us to sort of get a handle on this, particularly if we're gonna be coming back.
Yes.
If you want to give that to Ms. Kukla, so she has it for the file.
Thank you.
Good?
Great. Ms. Roga?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Madison?
Yes.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Calendar number 24-165 is granted. Will be ratified next Monday. We'll send you a letter, but you can contact us next Wednesday for further instructions.
Thank you.
Good. Well, good to see you.
Okay, good to see you as well.
All right. Just for, because you missed postponements, 24-170 is postponed to December 9th. And we're on to 24-171 now.
Bringing in calendar number 24-171 at 1354 West 69th Street. Maxwell Connor, owner, proposes to install a 6-foot-high fence. The owner appeals for relief from strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda. Back to you, Ms. Wilson.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and swear in all who are present to give testimony in this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? You raise your right hand, reply with I do, state your name, spell your name, and give your address.
I do. Maxwell Connor, MaxwellConnor. My address is 1354 West 69th Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44142.
Okay, thank you. And is there anyone online wishing to speak in this matter? All right, hearing none, back to you, Madam Chair.
Great, thank you. We'll take history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1949, permit was issued to add an outside stairs and add a bathroom in the existing bedroom on the first floor of a single-family dwelling. There are no variances on file. And then in the more recent history, we do not see anything that is relevant. Thank you.
Okay, super. Good timing, we're on to legal standard.
All right, is this Murray Hill? No, this is.
This is
69.
24-171.
Okay. Madam Chair, members of the Board of Health is requesting area variances from the fencing requirements of the zoning code. Obtaining the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Connor, tell us what you want to do as it relates to the variance you're seeking.
Okay, so I'm the resident of this property. My goal is to erect a privacy fence on the backyard of my property and also on a shared property line with the next door neighbors. There's an existing chain link fence that runs in between our properties. I've got in contact since applying for the variance with this owner, and he's said that he has no problem with the demo of the chain link fence and the building of a privacy fence. And I think that that the rule was that I can't erect a fence within the same height, or the height of the fence can't be greater than the distance from the properties that it's bordering. And it's on requesting permission to build a privacy fence on this sideline.
Okay, so we have a plan. And there's your drawing of your fence. Did you draw that yourself?
No, that was from the fence.
Okay, nice. I want to be, okay. Well, I was gonna give you credit, so you could have said yes, I wouldn't have known. All right. So can we go back to that plan view, Mr. Bay? Do we have any issues with where the fence is gonna be as it relates to the sidewalk or adjacent driveways?
This is Xavier Bay, Madam Chair. There's no driveway adjacent to or parallel to the post fence. It's currently just a side yard. I guess this isn't too good of a picture. I'm trying to do it here a little more. It's gonna be just a small side yard, just next to their adjacent building.
Okay. All right.
I do have, if you allow me just to jump into the city planning's recommendation.
Yes, go ahead.
Typically, we wouldn't, approve or recommend approval for 6-foot fences in front yards. We would ask the applicant to step down as they come into the front yard. And if the applicant's amenable to that, we recommend approval.
Okay.
So, like stepping down.
If you weren't, what were you gonna say?
It'd be up to you, to approve or deny the variances. But
I think the more important part is that I think that I'm too close. That was part of it. So
Right.
as long as I'm able to build a fence on that side, I have no problem with lowering the height to accommodate.
Okay, all right. So what then we'd like to see is a drop down where it meets with the front of your house. So you go to 4 feet from the front of your house to the street. It's to your advantage that there is no driveway next to the fence. That opens a whole nother can of worms, so that's good. Okay. Any questions, board?
Madam Chair, I just want to clarify and ensure that the fence in the front is not changing.
No.
Okay, so just the side. And this is a question to Mr. Bay. Are there any parameters that he would need to step down the fence, or just do you need him to step it down a certain height?
Mainly just meeting the 4 feet in height. We don't see an issue with the need for 50% opacity at this location of the 4-foot fence in the front yard. But I guess all around the city, you'll kind of see some examples of this where a residential will start a 6-foot high fence in their side yard, and then it'll sort of slope down, not a straight jump down, but really just sloping down diagonal line to meet 4 feet, keeping in line with the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so
Yep.
essentially where the front porch is where the.
Correct.
Right, exactly.
That's all I have.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
Any questions?
Okay. All right, did you rule out continuing what you have in the front for that side portion?
For the front portion, I would rule that out. It's an older style, not exactly sure, what would be involved.
Are you saying to replace the?
No. What I'm saying is we have the existing,
Which is historic.
right, wrought iron, I'm assuming, in that particular situation. And doing something that would mimic that look from the, on the side yard to the front porch, from the sidewalk to the front porch. As opposed to doing the continuation of side yard privacy fence. Stop your side yard privacy fence at the front porch and then do something similar to that in the side yard.
I'm open to it. The privacy aspect of the bill is really wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been into what kind of costs that would be building a store.
Okay, all right.
Iron fence like that
All
would
right.
be, so, I think I could look into that, because I really do like that look.
Yeah, I think it would enhance the street appeal of your house if the front fencing and the front side yard
Yeah.
were sort of contiguous.
Yeah.
And then your privacy began at your front porch and
Right.
went to the rear.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, the privacy is only, it's for the backyard, so I'll say in that. I didn't give thought to like a good type of deal or 50% capacity. I'm not opposed to that either. Yeah, I think that.
Okay, just throwing that out there for you to consider, but
Absolutely.
I think we're good with the side yard and that's what you're here for. So, okay. I need a motion in a second, please.
Based on the testimony that we've heard today, I move that we approve calendar number 24-171 with the condition that the height and opacity of the fence matches the front along the side as it meets the porch.
Second.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, would you like a drawing showing that change, or are we just making it a condition?
I think I trust Mr. Connor. He's been transparent about what he thinks he's gonna do, so.
Okay,
Great, we're good.
All right, Ms. Roca,
Yes.
Mr. Madison,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Bates.
Yes,
Calendar number 24-171 is granted conditionally. We will ratify it next Monday and we will send you a letter, but you can contact us next Wednesday for further instruction.
okay, you're all set, good to go. All right,
Thank you.
you'll be in contact with Ms. Kufla. Get your, all right. Apparently, we're taking a little comfort break. You're free to go, sir. Yeah, thank you. Yes, yes, that's off the record. We're taking a little comfort. That sounds awful. I don't know if that's worse than the drilling outside. It sounds like you're at the dentist office or not. You know? All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
All right, moving on. 24-174. Reading in.
Hi, you know what? Oh. I think I want, if I can at all possible, continue. I would rather that do this in person with my medical director. I've never been to one of these before. I didn't know what to expect. Unfortunately, my business, you know, we do, we're under a tattooing branch, but we do, for cancer patients, we put on their, like if they had a mastectomy or something like that. It's not it's really not the same thing. Unfortunately, there's only one branch that I fall under. And I think it's best that I'm actually there and explain to you, what exactly it is versus people think of a tattoo parlor that, everyone walks of life walk in there. And that's just not the case. So
Ma'am, I'll say this, you are not the first, business to fall, to serve that clientele that has been before us. And
okay.
and our zoning administrator has her hand up. She's also virtual. So let me go to her, and get her statement, first before we move forward. Ms. Leonard?
Good morning, Board and Ms. Bennett. I just wanted to give you an idea here. The issue that the city of Cleveland has is that because the state has licensing around, when you're doing things like this, it only falls under the category of tattooing in our code, and our code is very restrictive to tattooing. And its history lays in the fact of back in the 90s when, tattooing parlors were places of, ruckus and drinking and bar fights and things of that nature and drugs and, all of those things. And so it is a very, I would say, fairly archaic rule that's in our code that requires this 1,000-foot buffer and only allows it in certain districts. This administration, as well as the former administration, as well as the board over the years, has looked at tattoo parlors, obviously are not the same as they once were in the 90s when tattoo parlors were actually outlawed in the city of Cleveland. So I just want to give you that context. But again, the city of Cleveland is restricted into what we can label it under our zoning code, but giving you that context to maybe hopefully make you feel a little bit more comfortable. But it's up to the board. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ms. Leonard. So Ms. Bennett, again, I think we're trying to reassure you that, it's certainly up to you what decision you want to make. But you are not the first, for lack of a better term, I would call it medical tattooing. And that business that has come before us.
Okay, then we can move forward then, that's fine.
Okay, as Ms. Leonard explained, we fully understand that the zoning that's in the books, as she said, is rather, it's not up to date for today's standards, and how people perceive tattoo parlors. So are you good with that then again?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, we'll proceed. So we'll go with reading of the case, please.
Reading in calendar number 24-174 at 3238 Lorraine Avenue. J.C. Woodford LLC owner proposes to change use from office to beauty tattoo shop in a local retail zoning district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda. Ms. Wilson.
I will swear in all who are present for this case. There's no one in the room. I do know that we have the public online, so I'll start with you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your right hand to reply with I do. State your name, spell your name, and give your address.
For me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone else. Lisa Bennett, 1733 Raleigh Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44109. I own 3238 Lorraine Avenue, Cleveland, 44113.
And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there anyone else online wishing to speak in this matter? All right, hearing none, back to you, Madam Chair.
Great, thank you. We'll go to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 2013, it was changed to local retail and placed in a pedestrian retail overlay district. In our records administration office, we found that in 1913, a permit was issued to erect a two-story store building Then in 1961, a permit was issued to apply aluminum siding and alterations to store and dwelling. And then in 1975, a permit was issued to use as general retail sales. And then in the more recent history in our Acela system, in 2006, there was a permit issued for interior alterations for a law office. 2012, there was a violation notice issued regarding exterior maintenance, regarding a fence and a parapet wall. And then 2021, a certificate of disclosure was issued stating that the property is to be used as a store and 2 dwelling units. And Madam Chair, I think that's all that I have relevant. Also, there are no variances on file. Thank you.
Okay, legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance and an area variance from the minimum distance requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Great, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bennett, are you also the owner of J.C. Woodford LLC then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, super. All right. So you sort of briefly told us what your business is about. You want to go into a little further explanation for us? Specifically, we need to know your hours of operation, the number of staff members you'll have on duty at any one time, and how you will address your parking.
Our hours of operation are from 9 to 4, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 6. Parking is directly, they're actually installing meters right out front our building, like all the way down. So there's parking directly outside. And then I also have an agreement with Planet Fitness that any of the overload can park in the parking lot directly across the street if need be. I currently have, it's a wellness center. We provide body contouring. We sell different sizes of clothing, and we offer body contouring. We offer different types of just face products, anything wellness. We have a dietitian on site. At the most, staff-wise, there's only roughly maybe 3 staff at a time that's on the business, at the business. Upstairs is apartments that are rented. At any one time, we may have 2 clients here at a time. Usually it's just one that comes and sees the entire, they'll see each staff, within, say an hour and a half. So we don't like double book. And because we have been getting so many cancer patients that have had, like I said, that are just going through, a really hard time, just physically, as well as, their emotions take a real, when their bodies don't look the same. So we really try to help them as a whole. This is not what my business started out to be. It's, I had that one client, and then it was just referred. And it just, what it ended up being is the wellness center is treating a person in a whole that's really going through a really rough time. So and I just happen to be very good at appearances when it comes to mastectomies and covering up scars. But the difference between, say, microblading and tattooing, you're only going down not even 0.01 centimeters, or it's such a small amount compared to, what a tattoo parlor does. And I don't do any other type of tattooing. I literally do eyebrows for cancer patients. I replace their hair. I will say if someone's balding on top from the chemo, I will, fill in their hairlines there to make it an illusion that they have more hair than what they have. And then I tattoo areolas on clients that have had full mastectomies, whether it be a singular or dual mastectomy. And at that time, we may see a client a week, that need those types of services. It's not someone that's coming in every single, day, getting that type of service done.
Right. Are you the tattoo artist yourself then?
Yes, I do. I'm a nurse, but yeah, I went back to school to learn how to do it, and I'm the one that does it. Yes.
Okay, so you're an RN as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. So it sounds like a very holistic approach.
It is. Cleveland is the mark. We have the best hospitals in the world, but not all particular works for everybody. And, even if say they only have, 3 to 6 months or even a year left on their life, they should look and feel as good as they can. And that's just my approach to it, is to, bring in herbal teas and stuff that will alleviate the symptoms just enough for them to be able to maybe get through that dinner with their family and have, and take that picture that is very important to their clients. And it's just the company's just been evolving to the point where soon we're going to start doing community outreach. It literally took on a shape of its own. And like I said, this is not what I had originally signed up, for my business to be. It was almost like it was just, we were guided in that, direction. And even though I have everything with this for the state of Ohio, I was unaware that you had to have a separate licensing for microblading. And then when the guy came and was just like, I was just so confused why it had to be under tattoo. Now I understand, but why it had to be under tattooing. And because, I've talked to my neighbors, because the people that come into our area are very, into my store, very law abiding, very wonderful people of Cleveland. My business isn't attracting any type of ruckus or anything like that. And even on the, provisions, which is the meat department next to me, one of his grandmother came and he said, well, you know what, let me know what days the patients are going to come that need a little extra assistance walking. We'll make sure no one parks in the one parking spot for them. So the businesses around here are great. From Ignatius School to everyone, they've been very accepting. And because I literally physically went and talked to every single business and, just to let them know what exactly my business was, because I've been so busy. I don't publicly, use advertisements or anything, because everything literally has been by word of mouth.
Yeah, sounds like it's very much a referral-based business. You mentioned that you had an agreement with Planet Fitness on your parking situation.
Yes.
Did you get a written contract with them?
They're in the process. My attorney's in the process of doing it. The only reason why I haven't received one yet is because I haven't needed it thus far. But the only reason why I even went to ask them was for this particular purpose, just in case per se, because right now street parking is ample parking. Like I said, we have literally one client in here at a time, just because in the building, I redid the building for it to be completely 100% green. I put state-of-the-art filters in to circulate. Since COVID, obviously, I took extreme measures just because of the fact, so I don't ever have to. I still only try to have one client, especially if it's a client that their white count is low. I really try to only have one client in here at a time, so it's never really been a factor. And then my employees, I have a 12-car garage that's attached to it. So my employees just park in the garage.
Okay. And you've got, I think 2 apartments up front that are rental property, is that right? Upstairs?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right.
And those properties are rented out to Metro Hospital for their doctors that are on call. They
Okay.
actually rent out those apartments.
Okay. Do you think you would benefit from having ADA parking meters adjacent to your business?
Well, it looks like they're putting them out there, but yes, I think meters would be a great benefit for the entire city, to be honest.
Okay. Mr. Bay,
Yes.
can we investigate the, if we can get at least 1, if not 2 ADA parking places in front of this business, given the clientele?
Madam Chair, can I just ask a question about that?
Yeah.
So this is street parking for everyone in the neighborhood.
Right.
There's limited parking.
Right.
And then at that area, I also know that there's plans to put in a cycle track. So I just want to make sure that we're thinking about all the items that are happening on the street.
Right.
Before we make a suggestion. And Ms. Leonard has her hand up, maybe she can assist.
Right. I think, all right, Ms. Leonard, go ahead and make your comment.
She can work with traffic and engineering about that. There's really nothing that Xavier or myself can lend
Okay.
on that, if that is an availability, but traffic and engineering, she could work with either Robert Knopf or Rod Maverick to
Okay.
discuss those options, but the Ohio Building Code for occupancy and things like that would dictate how many ADA spaces is required.
Okay, great. Can we give her contact information for traffic and engineering, please, then?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Bennett, Mr. Bay is gonna put in the chat, the contact information for traffic and engineering.
Okay.
All right, that falls outside of our zoning. Being able to, assist you with that. But if you contact them, I think given the nature of your clientele, I'd like to see you be able to have at least 1 space out front or adjacent. Since you mentioned that neighboring businesses were trying to look out for your patients and help them walk to the business.
Yeah, they're my neighboring business. I don't know what's going in 2 doors down. There's another business going in that's 2 doors down from me, but the ones that are directly next to me and Provisions, the art gallery, they're very, they've all come in and seen what I did. Once I had to apply for this, I asked them to come down and just see everything. And ever since then, they've just been really, it's only having to happen like once, but other than that, like they just said, just call if there's somebody, that really, needs assistance. But
are you at a point where you'd be able to submit to us that contract with Planet Fitness on your parking agreement?
Not yet. The attorneys are just unfortunately, Planet Fitness is corporate, so getting them to get back to my attorney, even though the local management has agreed, that we're looking at probably a month, probably after Christmas before that even gets done.
Okay.
But yes, they agreed to it. It's just, getting everyone to put everything in writing and the right people to sign off on it per se.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other further questions, board?
Madam Chair, I do have a question. So, through the chair to Ms. Bennett, are you operating your business somewhere else right now and then moving here? I understand you own the building. Just wanted some clarity on whether it's an existing business or a new business.
No, it's an existing business. I was doing microblading, but because I was unaware. But since then, since I found out you needed a license, I do the microblading at a doctor's office if they need it done until I'm able to get the license. But unfortunately, for them to see the counselor, the dietitian, try on, maybe different bras that they need, it's really hard working out of 2 places, because if I either have to schedule 2 separate appointments with them, or have them follow me back to the store at that time, like after I'm done.
This will be your sole business location going forward.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right, anyone else, anything? All right, Mr. Bay, go ahead.
Thank you. This is Xavier Bay representing city planning. We recommend approval, that they're filling in some of the vacancies or inactivity along Lorraine Avenue storefronts. It's only by appointment only, it's their operations as well. So what they're proposing really falls in line with retail context.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, based on the testimony we've heard in calendar number 24-174, that we approve.
Can I have a second? Mr. Madison for the second. Okay, vote please.
Ms. Roca?
Yes.
Mr. Madison?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Mee?
Yes.
Calendar number 24-174 is granted and be ratified next Monday. We will send the appellants a letter, but please feel free to contact us next Wednesday for further instruction.
Okay, thank you
Ms.
so
Bennett,
much. Yes.
You've been approved. I'm gonna ask you to do something. We didn't make it a condition. So we're not gonna hold your approval up, but, what I'd like you to do is once you get that signed contract from Planet Fitness, you would please submit it to Ms. Kukla for your record.
Sure.
So we have, so we have it in your file.
Can you spell the name and give me the email address to send it?
She'll put it in chat for you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so just watch the chat and be sure to capture it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Right.
that concludes our cases for today. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
What about Clover? Did we?
What's that?
I think you have an older agenda somehow. Yeah, I think we took that off.
We took that off. All right, so are we good? Mr. Bain, did we check all the boxes we need to check today?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, in fact, we are done with cases. We have one item on old business, number 2, without objection board.
No objection. No objection.
No objection.
Thank you. All right, anything else, Ms. Kukla?
No, that's it.
All right. All right, just quickly, let's check our next. November 4th already.
Friends movement.
And I feel like I've lost this whole year. Crazy. All right, November 4th. Any absences, folks? No? Everyone's gonna be here? No recusals? Super. Okay. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.